We have reached the part of the podcast where we're talking some NASCAR, and who better than come on than Brandon at Boston Boy 83. Brandon, how you doing today, my man?
Doing good, man. Still riding that high of a 60-1 odds that we grabbed last week. A Harvick, a top 10. Like, that was a nice day.
Oh, no, we had Harvick over Byron.
Yep.
Almirillo, top 10.
Yes.
And you called Buescher to win at 61. So great day if you listen, Taylor bets, positive ROI, and that's what we're here for. Obviously, this week we're shifting over. We're going to Michigan. You ran it Wednesday night in the iRace. Tell us about the track and everything, and what tracks it plays similar to.
Fontana for sure, it's similar to. Other than that, there's not. I mean, maybe Auto Club, but it's a 2, possibly 3 groove track. You can run up by the wall. The middle lane is preferred once the tires settle in, and the low line is where you're going to see a lot of slide jobs. Something that I noticed on Wednesday night, if you try to pull the slide job and you don't clear somebody, you're going to lose 3 or 4 positions. So the draft and getting the run off the top is huge. Also, running top 3 the whole race. At the end of these races, when these tires are shot, if somebody tries to do a slide job, they're going to wash up and cause a big wreck. And unfortunately, I was part of that. But it's a multi-groove track, and drafting is going to be a lot of play in this, and so will tires.
Now, what do you mean by slide job?
So if you're behind somebody on the back stretch and then you dive it into the corner as hard as you can, and your momentum is going to go faster than the person on the top, and you're hoping you clear them and slide up in front of them to where they have to push you at that point. But if you don't clear them by attempting that slide job, you're going to lose 3 or 4 positions because these are long straightaways.
Now, we're getting to the interesting part of the season where drivers need to win to get in, to lock in their position. Obviously, we're kind of attacking it with a couple of our bets. You have 4 bets. I have 3 bets. I will let you lead us off.
I am going to start with Kyle Larson himself. We know what he can do. I said Fontana's a track that runs similar. He's very good there, but he's also had 3 wins at Michigan. It was 3rd and 7th in the last 2 years at Michigan, and he won at Fontana last year. I usually don't like going this low, but it's hard to steer away from Kyle Larson at 7-1. He will, as long as there's no issues or wrecks, he will 100% be battling for the win come the checkered flag at the end of that race.
I like that. My first one, I'm going to my boy, Uncle Kevin Harvick, 9-1. Second best average finish last 4 races here. 3 wins in that time span, which is absolutely insane. In the same time span, he has led 31% of the laps in those 4 races. Let's just look at the last 8 races here. 1st, 14th, 1st, 7th, 1st, 2nd.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he's really, you know what I mean? This is one of his better tracks. Obviously, he's in a position, if the playoffs started right now, he would be in it, but he wants to guarantee it. With Buescher winning that race last week, there's one less spot on the points. You know what I mean? Like, it's getting a little bit tighter, and these guys who have a chance to win, they need to win. This is one of his better tracks. We saw it here last year. He needed a win to get in. He won and he got in. I'll take Harvick 9-1.
So I like the Uncle Kev bet because, to your point, I think the man's going to win a race this year. I like that. So I'm going to go with somebody right next to him in odds. He's raced at this track 34 times. He might only have 1 win here. But prior to last year's race crash, he has also had 9 consecutive top 10s. He also won in past February in Fontana, is coming off a 3rd place result Sunday. Kyle Busch, Rowdy himself, is sitting at 10-1. You can't ever count this guy out. He might only won Michigan once, but another guy that ran Fontana really well in 9 consecutive top 10s. The man knows how to drive the track. I like him sitting at 10-1. That's nice to be able to grab him in a double-digit number.
Yeah, anytime you get him at that, that's absolutely phenomenal. My next one, I'm going to a head-to-head. This will, no pressure. We've hit 2 in a row. Going for the third one in a row. I am going, and this one is at plus money. This one kind of stood out to me. I'm taking Erik Jones over Austin Dillon at plus 110 juice. Dillon, 20th best average finish here. Last 5 races, he only has 1 top 10 here. Jones, top 10 here last year. He has an average finish in the same span of 16. You look at his last 6 races, his average finish is like 15 point and change, rounded up to 16. Let's just call it 16. Dillon's is 23. So Jones is running better. He's hotter going in, historically better at this track. I like Erik Jones here in the head-to-head matchup, and I'm getting plus money, plus 110. I'm in on it.
I like it, and I'm going to save. I was going to go one more step down, but with you bringing up Erik Jones, his average finish might be 16th right now in the last few races. He was 8th. He finished 8th here last year, and he also has 4 top 11 finishes in the last 6 weeks. You like him for a top 10? I'm throwing a Hail Mary like I did with Buescher last week. Erik Jones is sitting at a whopping 100 to 1 odds when he's being consistent. That's what made me lean to Buescher last week at 60 to 1. I was like, the guy's running consistent, top 10 finishes. What hasn't battled for basically a win all year, but you start to see that momentum. So you got the top 10 or the head-to-head. Yeah. I've got him winning the race as a long shot at 100 to 1 based off of recent consistency.
I like it. I was looking at that. I was looking at top 10s, and then I just saw the Dillon one, so I just did that. My next one, you mentioned running in good form. I'm taking Kozlowski 25 to 1.
Yeah.
Last 4 races, 3 top 6 finishes. So he's running good. He's led 102 laps last race, should have won last race, but his partner, Chris Buescher, did, racing mate. The announcers made an interesting statement too when it was all going on. And the statement that was made was this: when team RFK is running good, they're always toward the front.
Yes, both of them.
They're always toward the front, and they've seen over the last couple of races, they've looked really good.
Yes.
So I think that trend's going to continue. I am going to back Brad Kozlowski, who needs a win, who's won at this track before. This is his home track right in his backyard. So I get a good team, a team that's, I think they're kind of figuring it out. You know what I mean? I felt last year Brad was too busy trying to be an owner.
Yep.
And he was spreading himself too thin. He's only one person. I feel this year, however, he's kind of found that balance, if you will. You know, focusing on the racing, doing what's right for the team, putting everyone in a position. I kind of like what I'm seeing from RFK here. So I'm taking Brad at 25 to 1 at a nice juicy price.
I like that, and you're 100% right. RFK has figured something out right now that's setting him completely outside the competition. I'm going to sound like a broken record with my last one. He's moved up to 40 points out of the cutoff line, so there's still a possibility with the tracks left he could get in, but he can't risk it. The consistency has not been there. Wasn't there last week. Wasn't there the week before. But at some point, I feel who can I try to compare this to before I give his name? When you watch elite quarterbacks play bad 3 weeks in a row, like, that next week, like, they're going to have that breakout game. Chase Elliott at 12 to 1. I still don't see this man not winning a race after winning almost 6 races last year and missing a playoff this year. I don't see it happening. And again, when you can get him at double odds, 12 to 1, I can't steer away from the 9 car. Has he shown us something? No, not at all. But we've ran into this like Harvick last year, not performing at all. Boom, snapped it, won a race in the playoff, and kept momentum going. you can call me a homer too. I don't see this happening week after week.
Now, I like that play. He's going to have to win, to get in, because I'm looking at it right now. Top 16 get in.
Yeah.
Right now, he's 40 points out, as you mentioned. But Bubba's done good at this. He could get a win.
Yeah.
Kozlowski's sitting at 11th.
Yep.
But guys under him, I mean, you got Alex Bowman right there, who I think could be a little bit sneaky. Maybe he could get something going. You got Eric Jones. You got Grayson, who did the testing there. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And he's kind of in a position where we haven't seen him before,
ever,
needing to win to get in.
So Denny Hamlin, if you guys are looking for any other podcast, you need to go listen to him. He's very blunt, doesn't no filter anything. He guaranteed Monday that Chase will get in on points. And his argument was, look at the names ahead of him and look at the tracks coming up, because you have 2 back-to-back road courses, which Chase specializes in. And you're battling Bubba, who doesn't race at road courses, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, terrible at road courses. So there's still that possibility, but you can't risk it due to exactly what you said. Bubba sneaks a win, Brad sneaks a win. Well, now you're not battling a point system. You're battling another win, and you just can't get in that way.
And you mentioned, the thing is, dude, you mentioned road courses. Who's running and eligible for the playoffs this year? Allmendinger.
Yeah.
Cendric is a great road courser.
Yep.
Road course racer. Justin Haley, look what he did at Chicago Street Race. So I understand what Denny Hamlin is saying, but I kind of feel if you put all your eggs in one basket, you're kind of setting yourself up for potential failure. Just because hypothetically, let's say a new winner wins here. How many races we got left?
4 or 5.
And then let's say Dinger pulls out something. It's just.
But let's do one better. Let this soak in. Chase finished second at Chicago, right?
Yeah.
The guy that finished in front of him, SVG, not eligible, not anything, but took that win from Chase to where if that man didn't race for Trackhouse in a third car, Chase would be in the playoff right now. But SVG is going to run at Indianapolis. Yeah. So he could come out and get a second win and still prevent Chase from getting into that win. So you've got to win to get in. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Go big or go home.
Yeah. So interesting. One of the bigger names in a position we haven't seen him before. Brandon, I'd like to thank you for coming on, talking some NASCAR. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media and the next time you have a race, my friend?
Boston Boy 83, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. We are racing next Wednesday night at 9. And where are they at next week in real life? I think it's Lucas Oil Speedway for the truck. So kind of like a small, flat, short track. So
make sure to check that out. I was there. I was watching along. I thought, you know what, dude? I was trying to be supportive. I sent you a nice supportive message afterwards.
They actually they announced your comment on the actual broadcast. I don't know if you even heard that.
No, I had it. What
they're like, because there's a couple people in there talking about one driver, and they're like, somebody Etoft says, "Let's go B," and they're like, Who's B? He must be talking about Brandon.
I did well. Next time I will I'll spell out your name for you. How about that?
All good, buddy. Come join us, guys. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a great time, guys. Make sure to check it out. You know what? Let's keep the hot streak going. Let's make some money. Let's cash some tickets. Until next week, my friend.
Bye, everybody.